Born in 1869, died May 24, 1937. At rest, Ida Mae Krieg. Falbert, 1865 and 33. Huh. Wife, mother, and sister. Be interesting who the other person was here, wouldn't it?
Take a look at the view.
Yeah, gosh, yeah, look at this. Oh, that's really something. Original homesteader of this property.
The outlaw Tiburcio Vasquez used to hang out here. That's why they call it Vasquez Rocks County Park. But my friend Letty Dyer Foote also used to hang out here, and today we're going to walk around with Letty and see some of the sights and scenes from her childhood memories. Hello, my name is Philip Scorza, and I would like to welcome you to our show, Points of Interest. Letty, come on in here. Say hi to my audience. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm so proud to be here.
I'm very glad that we could do this today. This was really nice. I met Letty last summer at the Mitchell family reunion. Thomas Finley Mitchell was one of the earliest, if not the earliest, settler in Canyon Country, and Letty is distantly related to him. Tell me a little bit about growing up here. You were born in, you told me, 1934, and as a child there was nothing out here except your family and maybe a couple of others. What was it like for you?
That's right. Just a few others, and we had a ranch right at the entrance here of Vasquez Rocks, and as a kid I used to come over here and I mean, like I was only 5 or 6 years old, I'd pedal my little bike over here, and there was a caretaker here at the entrance of Vasquez Rocks by the name of John Wagner, and he used to sit out there in his car and collect 25 cents for all the cars that would come through and give.
Did he let you come in for free, though?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He and I became really buddies and so forth. And
now, he didn't own, you say he was a caretaker, he didn't own the property. Who owned all of these rocks at that time?
Well, my best recollection was that Henry Krieg was the homesteader here originally, and then Tony's, he was their uncle, and so it passed on to the Tony family then. And then in turn, the Tonys finally sold it to the L.A. County
Park. And we have to presume Mr. Krieg homesteaded it sometime after Tiburcio used to hang out in these hills.
Oh, right.
I don't think the two of them could have lived together or anything like that.
No.
But you lived here for, well, not just 5 and 6, but you lived here into your teen years too, didn't you? You went to school here and all that too?
No, I went to school, the one-room schoolhouse up there at Agua Dulce in Old Sierra Highway, and it was a kindergarten through 8th grades, and we probably only had like 10 or 12 children in the school, but that's where I started my kindergarten years.
A one-room schoolhouse.
One-room schoolhouse.
One teacher.
Okay. Her name was Grace Heath, and she used to live at the bottom here in Vasquez Rocks. There was a little cabin down there.
So she lived here too?
Yeah, she lived here also, and I remember her so vividly. She was really an impressionable woman. And
how did your family happen to come to live in this particular spot, since there was nothing here?
My grandmother was from the Ritter clan out in the Leona Valley, and my grandfather married her and brought her. Well, my grandfather came from Missouri and by wagon train, and then I don't really know how he settled in the Saugus area or out here in Vasquez Rocks, but anyway, this was quite known out here for the beauty and for all of the Western movies and so forth that used to be made here all the time, and it was really exciting, and because the movies used to come right by the front of where I lived, and everybody got really excited because the movies were coming in and they'd be here for a week or two, and it was really interesting those days to watch how the movies were made and so forth. And
so your grandparents were the first ones to hear, and then your father and
exactly
mother moved here.
Right.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have a brother, George, that lives right here still in the area, and I still have a lot of cousins that live here in the area.
So the Dyers are still here, and you have relatives in the area, so whenever you come back to visit, you have somebody to see.
Exactly, yeah.
Great. Well, we're going to go around today, and we're going to walk around the whole park, and walk and drive, I should say. The ranger's been kind enough to offer his vehicle. So we're going to go into a number of locations and see some of the things that Letty remembers from her childhood here. So what do you say we take off?
I think it's great.
Let's go.
All right.
Tell me about Tony, the guy whose house this was here.
Well, when Mr. Tony retired out of Los Angeles, he and his wife moved up here, and the original house is down in the bottom, which I'll show you where it was.
Okay.
But this is the house that they built out at the entrance in order to take care of the people that that came and went out of Vasquez Rocks, which were charged, of course, then.
So Tony owned this property then?
Yeah, he inherited from Henry Krieg is how.
Now, who was Henry Krieg?
Henry Krieg was the original homesteader, isn't that right? Yes. He was the original homesteader,
Yeah.
and that was his uncle, and that's how the Tonys
Wow.
came to own all of this property here.
How do you homestead? I mean, I know how you homestead. You have to be there first, actually, basically, and claim the land and all
Correct,
that.
right.
But how long ago was this that his uncle?
See,
Turn of the century, do you think, or before that?
Yeah, it
Must have been
very-
before that, huh?
could very well have been in the 1800s.
Certainly wasn't
or
when
so.
Tiburcio was
Uh-huh.
running around out here.
Well, there's stories about that,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and so forth, but
Yeah.
I can't really, state
Yeah.
to you if that's the actual happening. But
Wow.
anyway, as a kid, I was born here in 1934 and lived right here on 5 acres at the entrance of Vasquez Rocks. And as a kid, when Tony didn't live here, he had a caretaker, which I'll show you where his cabin was. And we became really close friends with him. But of course, now remember, I was only like 4 or 5 years old. And,
Right.
and he used to park out here, and I'd come over and visit with him. And his name was John Wagner. And he used to park right here at this rock, and we had a little brochure, and we'd charge the people 25 cents to come in and picnic here at Vasquez Rocks.
Did they-
And Tony's built this house right here, and they lived here for numerous years, and till his mother got old, and then they moved to Newhall, is what went on. And then I don't know the year that they actually sold Vasquez Rocks to the county, which
We should ask
probably
the
was,
ranger that
yeah,
question. He would know
exactly,
that, huh?
right. Uh-huh.
Property, okay.
Probably in the 50s or so.
I was thinking in the
Have to-
50s too.
Yeah, I think it would have been in
Okay,
the
we'll find that
50s.
out.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Now this is the ruins of whose cabin here?
Of Claude Ellis's, the eccentric
the eccentric artist. you told us
artist.
about.
Yes, right. Uh-huh. And I
Right.
remember it
It's a nice
being,
place
being
right
right
there.
in here, and there isn't too much left of it now. But
Some
this is-
rocks.
that's about it.
Yeah.
Piece of cement there.
Yes.
And then as we go back around this little corner here, you're going to see this wild Indian chief that he
Uh-huh.
painted here. And it's amazing that it's still, really
Right.
outstanding.
Who was he? I mean, you're a little girl. You knew this. You met this old
Yeah.
man, eccentric painter.
Yeah,
Right?
that was about it. And I was so young, I really don't remember very much about him other than his, the artwork that I'm
And
showing,
he
his
lived here, and he
paintings.
walked. He made his life
Yeah, and
work to walk around and draw paintings on these rocks. Here.
that's about it.
We don't know how he supported himself.
Well, he was a chemist, you said before, so
Oh, a
that must
chemist.
be.
Yeah, okay.
So that must
Okay.
be, and I can see where the artwork, the paint that he was using, he must have been experimenting
Right.
with it because
Must have been.
it's lasted more than 60
Right.
years.
Now,
So-
several cabins in this area, a number of them you've pointed out all over the place. This was, did the people own the land? Do you think Ellis owned this land?
No.
Or did he just put up
no.
a cabin and
He just
say,
put up a cabin and they used it as weekend places.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
think,
so the land wasn't really owned by anybody then? Or,
well, it all belonged to Henry Krieg, the
And he
original
didn't care if you
homesteader.
put
no,
up a weekend cabin
no,
on his
exactly,
property.
exactly
Oh,
right.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Can't do that
Yes,
anymore, can
no.
you?
No.
Well,
so-
show us this picture
right.
back here.
This was one of the paintings that I remember so well because it looked like a monster. And this is done by Claude Ellis, the eccentric artist that was in here for 6 or 7 years. But anyways, you can see he painted one eye here, and then there was another one here, and then this mouth. And there used to be some orange here with like sun stripes going out. But time has, taken its toll and
Washed it away.
washed it
Was
away.
this natural, or did he dig that out to do the eyes, do you think?
I think it was natural.
Oh, do you?
I really do.
So he saw something
Yeah,
there, and he made a painting from it.
and all through different areas that I'll show you here,
Okay.
he, just saw it, and that's what he did.
Good.
It was the head of Tiburcio Vasquez, and he was sitting around a campfire. And yeah, isn't that good?
Yeah.
Okay, now right down below you here, he painted a skull. See that? See that right up there in the corner?
This?
Yeah.
Yes,
uh-huh.
I do see the skull.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get in here, J.N. Try
That used to
Oh yeah, I see it.
used to show. Isn't that great?
Yeah. They weren't real big. They were little.
Yeah,
things
just
that you
little
would-
things,
that if you weren't looking for them, you probably
And put in
wouldn't
the
see
funniest places, you know.
them. Okay, wait a minute.
And-
There was a cabin in this area.
Yeah, there was a cabin right here, and this was the chimney that was here.
Really?
And see, here's some more of his paintings here. This used to be a waterfall, and this was pine tree. See the pine tree there?
Yes. Yes.
And it drizzled down through
They're really
here.
very small. They're very tiny.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
And it
you
came
have to
on
get
down
close
here.
to them in order to see them. Really
Well, you know, it used to show up a whole lot better.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, I mean, I'm
40
when you
years
talk
ago.
about rock
Uh-huh.
art, I'm thinking he's going to take this whole rock and make
Oh,
it
I
play
see.
something. But really, he just takes a tiny little crevice
Yeah.
in the rock.
Exactly.
So is this the artist's cabin here,
Well, you know,
or somebody's cabin?
He might have stayed here. I'm not sure about that. Ed Tony would know more about that than I. But then here's some more. He did some more work here, but I don't know, you know, exactly what this was, because time has really has eroded and taken away a lot. But there used to be a lot more. We were coming in from taking the money and pulled in there, and I was on his lap driving, and we couldn't hit the brakes, and we went forward and hit the back of the garage and moved the whole garage forward, his whole tin garage.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm standing here with Mike Sharp, who is the ranger for Vasquez County Park here. Tell me something. When was the park started?
I believe from all my research, I started picking up parcels in the late 50s all the way up into the early 60s.
Okay, and it was in private hands before that, then,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And obviously the reason were the unusual rock formations. What can people do when they come here? What do you have available for people?
Well, the park is 745 acres. It's a natural area. It's a preserve. We have 745 acres of rocks to play on.
And a picnic?
Picnic.
Yeah.
We have horseback riding trails, hiking trails. The Pacific Crest Trail comes through the park.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Really? Oh, okay. Are there places where you can, you know, rent horses to go riding, or do you have to bring your own horse with you?
You need to bring your own horse, yes.
Okay. Okay. And what about the now? You live here. Obviously.
Yes.
You're the man in charge. But when is it open, and when can we come and visit you?
The park is open from 8 a.m. to sundown 7 days a week.
Oh wow, you work 7 days a week then?
No, sir.
Oh,
They
okay.
give me 2 off by law.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I've only been out here when it's dry and beautiful and sunny. What's it like the rainy season? What happens around here? Is it still possible to come in some of these back trails and stuff like that?
It's very difficult when it's raining, like especially this last year during the El Nino. The tremendous rains. The most spectacular time is in the springtime with all the wildflowers.
Oh yeah, I can imagine what it must be
Yes.
like up here. It must be beautiful. Well, thank you very much for talking to us. Vasquez Rocks County Park is a huge place. We were lucky to have the ranger drive us around. Otherwise, it would have taken us all day to get to some of the inaccessible sites Letty wanted us to see. Let's go see your grandmother's cabin.
Okay. My grandparents lived in, let's see, I can't remember the year for sure, but it was a beautiful green cabin with a screened-in porch, and it was a little 2-story. And she passed away here when I was 11 years old. So,
Nice view.
And I remember it so distinctly coming here. We were in Newhall at the old American Theater, and we got called out telling us that there had been a death in the family, and we came up here, and she was only 64, I think, when she passed away. So it was
That's pretty young.
pretty young, yeah.
But this was their permanent home, not a weekend cabin.
No,
type
this
of
was
place.
they had actually bought this place. Did you know that?
Oh, they actually owned it.
Yeah,
at
they
one
actually
time.
owned it. One of the few places that
So
they
you
owned.
played
but-
here as a little
Yeah,
girl,
and I'll show you right up here where I played.
Okay.
We had a little.
Take a look. Go ahead.
The Smiths had originally built the house. They had a son by the name of Ted, and he built this out of cement.
Little ramp-like.
Well, it was a little race car. We
Uh-huh.
played cars on it,
Oh.
and I remember doing it a lot when I
Uh-huh.
was young. And anyway, that's it's over probably 70 years old. We're talking about. that this was built.
When now your grandparents, what were their names?
J.T. Dyer and Mary Dyer.
The Dyers, and now
Dyers,
I know, of course, are they the ones that are buried up in the Mitchell Cemetery?
That's
in
correct.
Canyon Country?
Yes.
So how are you related to the Mitchells? How did you get to be buried in the
Well, my
cemetery?
grandfather, J.T. Dyer, he had a sister named Iva, and she married John Mitchell.
That would be one of the Mitchell children.
Yes.
Thomas
yes.
Finley Mitchell's
Help me.
child. We have to call the research person in over here.
Right.
Because when we met last summer, you and I, and
Yes.
you were at the Mitchell reunion.
Right.
And we know you can't get into the Mitchell reunion unless you're
Yeah,
related somehow.
absolutely
So the
right,
Mitchells and the
right,
Dyers then.
and,
Okay.
And the Dyer Cemetery, the Dyer Mitchell Cemetery, that's where my great-grandparents are buried also.
Ah.
And
So Dyers,
Have you-
is that your mother's side of the family, the Dyers?
no, this is my father's
Your
side.
father's
my
side of the
father's
family,
side.
okay.
And my grandmother was a Ritter, which she, all of her family homesteaded in Leona Valley.
Oh,
and
yes.
and there's still a lot of, if you go up there, there's
There's a Ritter Road, I think.
yeah, Ritter
Sure.
Ranch.
Ritter Ranch is a big
Ritter Ranch, and
Right.
they had thousands of acres in there,
Right.
all on the Sierra Pelona Mountains, where we used to deer hunt, and
You just had to
It's
be out
still-
here at the right time, I guess.
exactly, yeah, exactly. That was a large family. She was one of 10 children, I believe, one of 10 children. And anyway, they came from the old country, Germany, and that's where they homesteaded, and they had, it's a beautiful ranch. I remember it very well. And that's where my dad actually got introduced to the bees. There was bees on that side of the family also, and then he bought bees from one of her, what would be his uncle.
Mhm.
And that's how he got started in the bees.
So you bought the
So-
bees. You didn't just like stand there and wait for the bees to come around.
No.
Oh,
that's
I
how-
didn't know.
how
I don't know how
bought-
that works.
That's a whole new story.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah,
Okay.
it really is. And the bees make a lot of honey off of this, and it's a dark honey
Uh-huh.
when it's light when it comes in bloom in the spring. They
Was that like his main source of income, or was that just one way to make an income?
Well, it became his only source of income, but he worked for the county road department during the Depression.
Ah. Oh,
And
I see.
so we were very
Okay.
fortunate for him to be employed by the county road department during the Depression. But
What else do the
then
bees
he-
like to eat as long as we're...
Well, they work on this greasewood right here.
There's greasewood,
And
okay.
it comes into bloom also.
Mhm.
And I don't see any sage. It's the best honey. And
Is
I
this,
don't
is this
see-
sage? No, what's
no,
this?
this is just more of the buckwheat plant.
That's more of the buckwheat
Yeah,
plant. Okay.
it's still green.
Okay. Did you ever get stung by a bee?
Oh my, yeah! I used to work in the
Somebody's cabin here.
Yeah,
Whose was it?
This was Grace Heath's cabin, and
She was a school
she
teacher?
was a school teacher at Ogwedelsey School up there on the Old Sierra Highway,
Mhm.
and I remember she was my kindergarten school teacher, and we had 1 through 8th grades there.
Really?
And there was a lot of the Schaefer children, which are old people that live down in the canyon, and her mother was the school bus driver, and we were toted to school in a regular old Buick car, I remember.
Really?
And so anyway, right over here is where this old famous wooden shower was, right here in the juniper.
The school teacher's shower was down
Yeah,
in
well,
this
it was the
area.
local shower for everybody because,
Oh,
we didn't
nice.
have, everything was outside
I
in those
see.
days.
It wasn't just the
And
school teacher.
No, and it was, we had a what do you call it, a tank on top that, solar.
Okay.
And it heated.
So it was fairly
to-
warm water?
Yeah, fairly, if
Relatively
it was
warm, huh?
warm, yeah.
Okay.
But.
So everybody in the community came
yeah,
here to shower.
over here, the teacher and
Uh-huh.
caretaker and yeah.
So what
And-
happened
and-
one day when you were in here?
Well, I remember as a kid taking a shower, and there were just slats down there in the bottom, and I looked down, and there was a couple rattlesnakes
Really?
down there. Yeah, right, and they're resting because it was cool. And boy, I hightailed it out of there. Believe
You
me, I did.
Shower with the
Yeah,
rattlesnakes, huh?
yeah.
Well, you must have
But
seen a
I-
lot of rattlesnakes in
Yeah,
this area.
I
when
did,
you're- Are
but-
there any around here? I should look
You
before I walk.
just
huh?
learn to live with it, though.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Do you?
yeah.
Is this their season? Are they out right now?
No.
Good.
No.
Good.
Some- I
Well,
can
where are
tell
we
you a
off
lot
to
about
next?
that.
Where are we going to go to
Okay,
next?
I think the next to Henry Craig's.
Let's go up to Henry Craig's burial site
yeah,
then. Okay.
exactly.
Does this remind you of the old days?
I'm doing it.
watch out for the
and
blanket.
close this about 7
'Cause
feet.
This is the stuff that's slippery.
There you go. All you have to do is just push down on the button, sweetie.
I hope that comes out good.
Well, you'll have one on the video.
Yeah. Born in 1869, died May 24th, 1937. Address Ida Mae Krieg, Falbert.
It's kind of an unusual place for a gravesite is
Isn't it,
the thing
though?
that struck me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe the Craigs would come up here and enjoy the view so much, then they probably at one time said to themselves, hey, you know, when we go, let's this is the place I want to be
Yeah,
or something,
yeah.
because
I think-
nobody would ever find
No,
this.
no. You see, I was totally turned around as a kid finding that with Mr. Tony when I first remembered it when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and then I came back again as a teenager. I remember.
And
But-
you found it when you were a teenager too, then?
Oh, well, no, he
Oh, no?
brought me back again, but I still thought it was over there in that area. That was
Ah.
the funniest thing. I just, it's really how you get twisted around in here. But,
I wonder if there are. Do you know if there are any other people buried in the? Now these are just ashes in here. We should
Correct,
mention that this is
right.
like probably a little
Remains.
natural cave in the rock, and then they put the ashes in there and
Right.
cemented it over. And
Exactly.
did they
Uh-huh.
put the plaques, or did I wonder if the
I
county
don't-
put the plaques?
No,
up?
Tony's.
Oh, the Tonys put the plaques
Tony's
up.
did that.
Okay.
Which were, that
Okay.
Mr. Craig was his uncle,
Right.
and that's how it got handed.
Do you know if anybody else
down.
is buried?
No.
Legally or otherwise in this?
No. Outside of just the wild tales about Tuberculo Vasquez, that
Right.
was the bandit in here that supposedly was like, he robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. I mean,
They
that's
they
supposed
called
to
him
be
the Robin Hood of the
story.
Old West,
Right.
and I saw an invitation to his hanging. Jerry Reynolds, my old buddy Jerry Reynolds, had an invitation to his hanging. I thought it was like 1865 up in San Jose, and
Is that
you know,
where it
you're
was?
cordially invited to the hanging of Tiburcio Vasquez, and Jerry, I guess that was one of his things that he
Oh.
had purchased along the way.
See,
and-
I was told that he was hung down here in one of these canyons. a group
no,
of-
San Jose. He was
that-
he was executed up that way.
Oh, he was
but
actually
apparently,
taken
and
into custody.
he was actually arrested and taken in. Well, supposedly at the Greek George Allen's place here at the Cahuenga Pass. He was Tiburcio, as the story was told to me by Jerry Reynolds. Tiburcio was a bit of a ladies' man, and when Greek George Allen or whoever it was, this man had this beautiful wife that Tiburcio was interested in. So when the man left, Tiburcio sort of moved in and was
I see.
having a little tete-a-tete with the woman, and he was caught at that moment
Oh.
and arrested and convicted of assorted many crimes all over California. But apparently the stories go that this was a place where he would hang out, hide out, I guess, and obviously you can hide out here for a long time. Now you can't, but
Right.
1860s.
Here comes a group of horses in. Look, isn't that pretty?
Oh yes, that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
We'll get a shot of that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something about when you were a kid. Did you hear any stories about gold being hidden in the area?
I heard that Vasquez had hidden some treasures in here.
But you never found any treasures.
No, but there has been people known to hunt the area for it.
Okay.
But I've never heard of anybody finding it. But it was told that he buried a lot of gold in this area.
Well, it's a good place to bury things because nobody will ever find it around here. So the horses and the good guys in the chasing the bad guy coming right down this trail here.
Exactly.
And he's going right down this way over here. you're
Right,
saying, right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
tell me about movie making here at Vasquez Rocks, because this is probably one of the most famous film locations.
Well, the one particular one that I remember as a kid was called Arabian Nights, and that was the stars was Cornell Wilde and Evelyn Keyes and Phil Silvers, and they were in here for probably a week and a half or so, and they had it all set up in Arabian tents and all of that. It was just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and I even stayed out of school to come over and watch it. And
Did they ever use you as an extra in the background?
well, I always got to eat lunch with them, and Cornell Wilde, he called me his lovely little lady friend, and in those days they had box lunches, and boy, it was wonderful food. It was great food.
But they were always
So-
making movies here, probably mostly
yeah.
westerns, I'm sure.
Yeah, mostly westerns as far as I can remember, but it was just great to. We always got to see them. We knew when they were coming in because all the movie entourage, came right by where our ranch was, and it was always so exciting. And
So you could tell that somebody was going to be filming today. So let's get
you
over there.
bet. Yeah.
Tell me the story
So-
about the elephants. You told me a story earlier about the movie elephants.
Yeah, I can't remember. They were in here. They might have been No, I don't think so. Involved with that Arabian Nights because there were elephants, and anyway, the truck broke down, and it took several days for the truck to get fixed. So my dad's
that
carried the elephants, which was big semi trucks, and so we had them parked over in our front yard for about a week, and we really got acquainted with Will and Bonnie. Yeah,
Will and Bonnie.
Will and Bonnie, and had some great pictures and ones of my brother, and we rode them.
You rode the elephants?
Yeah, yeah, we rode them.
You could get up on the elephants?
Yeah, the trainer stayed right there with us and slept there with us at our home, and so yeah.
What did he feed the elephants?
Oh, it was just bales of hay and water, you know.
Right.
But they were really interesting to us kids because we were just really small. But that was one of the neat
no matter
experiences.
how big you get, that elephant's going to seem mighty big to you,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When
Great.
I was a kid growing up, television program Cisco Kid was on television, and I remember that they must have filmed it here because these rocks are so familiar to me.
Is that right?
Before I even moved out to L.A.
Oh,
So
there.
you know, anybody who comes here for the first time from anywhere is going to say to themselves, "Oh, I recognize this."
Yeah.
Because so many movies have been.
Oh,
filmed
well,
here.
you see commercials all the time. Toyota does a lot of commercials that I see, and I tell my friends up in Paradise where I live that you know, that's where I grew up. But you know, they have no idea of what I actually did here.
Right.
But they're real impressed. And really.
What about
So
the fort?
it's-
You said there was a big fort down there for one movie. What was you?
Yeah, I can't remember the movie, but I know it was like the Union Army and stuff, you know, and they were fighting out of the fort and so forth. And that fort stayed up for quite some time because they made several movies out of that fort.
Oh, okay.
But I can't remember. But I know, you know, Roy Rogers made a lot of movies in here, and Alan Ladd, as I told you, landed down there on a flying strip that I remember as a kid.
Here's a photo taken of a movie being shot at Vasquez Rocks in 1934. Richard Dix was a star of the picture. The cast and crew gathered for this picture, along with the locals, including Letty and her mother. That's Letty as a baby in her mother's arms.
Yeah, I remember many times of just being the only person in this big rock here, riding my bike through here, and scared to death. I'd make it over to the caretaker, and it really got hot here. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
well, in the summertime.
in the summertime it was really hot.
Well,
in
it's
this area.
been great walking around with you and having you reminisce about your memories. It does seem like an idyllic place, and when you look around and see all these houses here, you must. What do you feel? How do you feel?
I
about
just
this?
feel it's unbelievable. You know, I don't feel that old. That's what I'm trying to say. You know,
But
there's
look
been
at
so
how
much
many people
development.
live here now, and
Yes.
now you'd have tons of playmates, wouldn't you?
Would I ever?
Well, thank you, Letty,
Yeah.
for taking us around today and,
It's been my
showing
pleasure.
us Vasquez Rocks.
It's been my pleasure.
This has been Philip Scorza for Points of Interest. Until next time, we'll see you again.